What's up?
I'm sleepy.
I too am freaking beat, man. Uh it has been a long time since I have sat on my ass in front of a screen for that long. Uh the live stream yesterday. Thanks to anyone watching this that watched it. If you didn't watch live, the replay is up. So that's good news. And yeah, we we had fun. I ended up playing some uh Civ 6 with Nick, which was cool.
I don't know what
So
that is, but
Civilization, like Sid Meier's Civilization computer game. And it's on other systems as well, but yeah, mostly known for uh being a computer game. So
we had Emma's birthday was on Saturday, so as well Brittany and Emma's birthday was on Saturday, but she went up to the cabin with her sister for the weekend.
hmm.
Um and so I took Emma and her friend to John's Incredible Pizza, which is a shit show if you're an adult.
Mm,
Um and but they had fun, and then I took her and her friends to my job actually, where they got to meet the anchors and sit on the desks.
that's
And
cool.
Jennifer was even nice enough to
Excuse me.
turn on the prompters and things like that so that they can like read actual news from it and stuff. They got to see some
That's
things
cool.
get filmed live and everything. So that was a long day though. And then Sunday was just football, football, football. Because I mean, great games this weekend. Also, soccer Manchester Derby was on Saturday, which we won, which was phenomenal. And then obviously the highlight of the
Sorry.
weekend, besides obviously my daughter's birthday. Um, um, Hopefully we'll chat about it a little bit, but
The Last of Us.
the Last of Us premiered.
We'll
Phenomenal,
chat about it for sure.
phenomenal.
Good to hear. Almost as good to hear as this intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre here on the Genreverse YouTube channel and Genreverse Podcast Network, available wherever you get your podcasts from. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Check out the Discord link in the description box down below, because we have a Discord server. You guys can come and chat with all of us. We cover a lot of things here on the Genreverse: anime, Star Wars, Marvel, general entertainment news and reviews like you hear on Daily COG and Breaking Geek Radio. I'm Kyle, that's Manny, and yeah, I'm interested in what you thought about The Last of Us. Christine, my wife, for those that might not know, just watching this on a whim, she was ill over the weekend, so we're like behind on anime stuff, reactions, and I didn't want to watch this without her, so I haven't watched it yet. Not to mention, I crashed last night like at 9:30, so I was beat. But Manny watched it. Manny's played the games, and I know he's a big fan, so I can't wait to hear about that. But we do have to start off first with what we normally do on Mondays, which is box office numbers. And Avatar: The Way of Water continuing its dominance and really just, I mean, we've said it before, we're happy. We don't get it, but we don't know why people are watching, but they're watching.
Well, it's not
and
just
they're enjoying it.
yeah. Well, it's not just Avatar, but this past week I was actually really surprised at just the spread that people
Oh yeah,
had.
big numbers. I don't think I've seen the top 5 all making over 10 million in quite some time. I mean, 8 digits in the top 5. That's awesome. I'm happy.
Yeah. So the Avatar doing well obviously is the anchor point at this moment. That's the highlight. I think if we could just get one of those movies a year. And I'm not talking about Avatar, I'm talking about a blockbuster of that magnitude. That'd be great. We thought those days were long and gone, but here we are. Martin Luther King weekend, where really nothing came out. I mean, Plane came out, but that is the most generic Gerard Butler movie that you can imagine. It's like, I was like, so you basically took the script of Olympus Has Fallen or whatever it's called, and just put it on a
Put it
plane.
on an airplane, yeah.
I was like,
and just call it plane too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gig had a funny joke
okay.
that Gig had a real funny joke on Twitter last night that said, a sequel has been greenlit called Trains, and if that does,
wait for automobiles.
Yeah, and then it will be wrap up with the film called Automobiles. And I was like, you know what? I wouldn't be mad at that.
Although Trains, Planes, and Automobiles is a great movie. Steve Martin and John Candy.
It's a classic comedy. Yeah.
Dark comedy. Yeah.
And I can't wait for the comments. We know what that is, Kyle.
Yeah.
So
we're aware.
And I mean, Megan continues to do really well. It's already close to 60 billion. Which I honestly, like, I was excited for this because it just looked funny and interesting. I'm glad that everyone else found it the same so far. Well, not like everyone, but enough people, because they're gonna do a sequel now. And Megan's leave my microphone alone, dude.
Bloom already said he had wanted to do a sequel even before it was released. He felt that it would be sequel worthy, is what I was reading.
Yes, and so it's gonna be. She's been beefing with Chucky. I don't know if you've seen the Twitter exchanges where Chucky said something. I don't remember even what the message was, but Megan's response was "Okay, Boomer." Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, so this is happening. Stop it!
Cat getting into shit.
Yeah, mom hasn't been home for days, so now he's like, he's like, literally, he was messing with me at 4 a.m, at 5 a.m, and then again right at 6 a.m. when my alarm went up, because he's like, oh, so now you're awake, all right. Anyway, and then Puss in Boots, we talked about how it was gonna have legs because it would because it's the only kids movie out, really. It was fun. I thought it was fun. And then the interesting one that I wanted to bring up is, I didn't even know this was out. I guess it was a limited release because it's only released in like 1,400 theaters, but House Party, LeBron
remake
James
of
film.
that.
So it's interesting because the remake was supposed to go straight to HBO Max.
Yeah,
it didn't, and I'm looking at it and I was like, this one maybe should have gone straight to HBO Max. A reverse to what we usually say. But no, I'm glad it's out there because, I mean, a little bit over 4 million is like what Bros did or something like that. So whatever.
I mean, if this had a, let's just roughly multiply it by 3 times if it had been in a normal amount of theaters.
Oh yeah, okay, I guess you're right.
2.5 times. It probably would have pushed that 10 million mark as well.
Right. And then, but also the marketing for this movie had been
not too bad.
Weak.
I didn't even know it was coming out until this week. I was like, wait, there's a House Party remake?
Yeah, but it's like at LeBron James's house, and as a Boston Celtics fan, I can't stand LeBron James. I recognize his talent, but and also, he's currently a Lakers, so whatever. Yeah. Lakers lost again last night, so but overall, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So for perspective, we were very excited for January 6th through the 8th, which was a little bit over 104 billion. Sorry, I can't read right.
Are you talking about the weekend?
Yeah,
gross?
the weekend
gross. It would have been about 104 million.
104.
Billion.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I can tell you, I can't see right now. I'm half awake.
It's morning.
But I did 10 million more this weekend without really the only new movie being Plane. So there's a couple of other movies, but no one's ever heard of them except probably us. Also, Man Called Otto, I think, opened in a couple more theaters.
Yep.
Which is was a really, really good movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the heck of it. Tom Hanks, I thought, was great in this. He's been playing a little bit more different roles than what we're used to seeing him. So it's been nice. And then this one I just really enjoyed it. But yeah, just overall, Good. We're having a good 2023 so far at the box office.
So far.
Is it sustainable? Who knows? But we'll find out.
Hopefully. Hopefully. It'll be interesting to see what Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and Guardians do, as well as how well the Marvels does this year as well. I mean, guys, just go support what you like. If you don't like it, I'm not telling you to support it, but if you do, figure out a way that is monetarily sustainable for you to support what you like. The theaters need it, the studios need it in order to make more content for us to consume. So that's the vicious cycle. Remember, it's not necessarily us going, oh, woe is the billion-dollar corporation for not making as much money. It's woe is the consumer who wants more content and can't do it unless the billion-dollar company is making money off of its productions. It was funny this weekend or Friday, I watch a YouTuber, Linus Sebastian, his LTT channel, Linus Tech Tips, and he's got a bunch of other channels. But every Friday they do the WAN show, and they look at tech news from the week. And he was discussing his own streaming platform of sorts called Floatplane, and some customers had said, hey, instead of having us subscribe to each channel at their price points for each channel, why not offer a big Floatplane exclusive, like all combined? And it was funny to sit here and listen to this guy talk. It was
So like cable?
No. He was saying, it becomes one giant pool of money, and the more creators we have on Floatplane that have to share that one pool of money, the less money to each creator. So by allowing each creator to choose the price point for subscription to them through the Floatplane app and service, provides more money for those creators. And all I could do was sit there and be like, no duh. Like that's the thing, guys. I mean, I've been saying this for years, even before Disney Plus launched, before HBO Max launched, back in the days when Netflix was like, hey guys, we're in the red again. It was like, because you're asking more to share from a pool of money that doesn't really grow. Like, it doesn't grow. You between piracy and password sharing and all of that, it doesn't grow, and you're asking more people to share from it. Well, what does that result in? Drop quality, drop quantity. And hearing him basically say the same thing for an internet, creator created service, streaming service of sorts, host video. Think of it as like private YouTube, if you will. It was just funny, because I was like, man, I wish everyone could just simply take that and then move it out of this and apply it to general entertainment, streaming, and then of course gaming subscription services, because it's the exact same thing, guys. It's the exact same thing. Microsoft is asking all of these studios to share more money from one pool versus making the money and keeping the majority of it, by doing these Game Pass deals. It's great for the consumer for now. Gaming's going to be the one that's going to really hurt when everything goes games as a service. But
it's good. I don't game a lot.
I did yesterday.
Offering all together as one package from like different places is also a terrible idea, because then you have certain projects.
The money.
It's a stupid idea. It's bad. Yeah. Because then you have only certain amount of shows like really carrying everybody else, and it allows certain creators to really be lazy and
it's like
put out crap.
It's like an insurance scheme. You need a bunch of people that aren't high risk in whatever you're insuring to pay premiums and not use the insurance. You need them to pay for the people using the insurance. And health, that's usually, you know, young people buying insurance they probably won't need, and letting the older people, sick people benefit from it. Car insurance, safe drivers are paying for other people to be unsafe drivers. I mean, it is whew, man.
Yeah, and then also
I could talk economics and finance and business all day.
And then there's also the thing of, I really don't need a giant pool thing. Like, I'm gonna pay for those subscription services that I want, which unfortunately are in most of them.
Yeah, I know.
So it was really quick. You know, it was really funny. They're like, HBO Max is going to $15.99, right? Or went to $15.99, and I went, what? I was like, $15.99? That's ridiculous. And then it's like
Netflix.
No, and then I realized that I was already paying $14.99, and I went, oh, okay, never mind.
This is an outrage.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's gonna come down to essentially voluntary contracts. In order to get no ads at all, you won't be able to do month to month. You'll have to buy a year, and the year
but the thing is that
won't even offer a discount anymore.
People can't afford that though, so it will never.
The benefit to I get that, but every other tier, all of the monthly things are going to end up being ad supported.
The thing is,
there's no other way to do this without
like, I already
Tide and Chevy ads.
I already deal with it on Hulu and Peacock and sometimes Paramount. So I really don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. Like,
I've literally seen and
I grew up in I grew up in the 90s, man. All we like. As a matter of fact,
people I see saying I would rather pirate than watch ads. Like, I've seen that. I've called that. I've called that out. Like, holy crap!
Yeah, and
people will feel entitled to be entertained. You're not.
Back in the day, we used to use that to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I know, right?
You can
make a quick phone call.
Yeah.
Get a snack.
Whatever, man. And if you'd rather, do it some other way and watch shitty quality stuff, that's on you.
It ain't so shitty anymore. That's the bad thing about putting stuff up on digital, is you can rip.
Yeah,
4K
but you do have to do a little bit more work for it though, and whatever.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes it is not available at the moment. Yeah, sometimes it is, sometimes not. So it's whatever. There's certain people who want to complain about everything.
Yeah.
So instead of just kind of, I wouldn't necessarily. Yeah, there's things you should obviously complain about, and I don't think this is one of them.
I wouldn't. I'm not so upset at people complaining, because I mean, hell, that's what 80% of the Daily Cup of Genre is you and I complaining about things, including this. But my thing is uninformed complaining, right? That's my beef with it. Everyone's entitled to their opinions and what they like and don't like. I'm completely. But this is one with objective facts and objective angles to look at that have nothing to do with your feelings. There's math, and math is relatively absolute. And it says that the streaming that you are accustomed to or desire is not sustainable. The math says that it doesn't add up. Get the same quality and quantity as you had before with less money being shared amongst a bigger group. It doesn't math. And people that are ignorant of that and just say, no, by God, it's gonna work. Damn it. Well, look at Warner Brothers Discovery and their gutting of HBO Max, and they're trying to sell off more things to other places, and they're slowing down HBO Max exclusives. Disney is slowing down Disney Plus exclusives. Like, welcome to reality.
Difference is the Disney board's livid about that. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean.
Well, they felt misled, the way I understand it. One guy, I can't remember the investor's name, but they're trying to seat him on the board, was just like, you guys didn't math it, like, and then you didn't tell us that the financials weren't there. Like, like I was telling my buddy Brian, who does AVR squared with us. I got an associate's in business fundamentals and a bachelor's in small business management, and I've been talking about this for years. For years, I've been talking about this. Damn, that was a hard one to get out of. These guys have MBAs. These guys have been in business for years, decades, some of them, and they couldn't math this out. They couldn't. You guys at Disney with C's and E's, or C's next to chief and executive and vice in your names and titles. None of you guys could just. I mean, one, you had the example of Netflix struggling, and then two, it's simple math. More projects require more money, not less money being shared. That idea of everything as a service, like you have with certain digital subscriptions through like apps and software. That's what everyone wanted. They're like guaranteed money, like, but it's not enough. And to charge enough to get it, you would price people out of being able to get it. And then the other option is of course ads. But like I said, one of the biggest problems with streaming, especially putting movies really fast to streaming, is the piracy. People that are willing to wait. It used to really suck to see like the especially when I was in Iraq, Afghanistan and whatnot, they always had third country or local nationals have a store selling Blu-rays and DVDs. They were all pirated. Some of them were good copies, ripped from existing Blu-ray or DVDs, and others were theater screen rips. I remember those days, but that's not it today. Like every clip that I use on the Genreverse, pretty much these days, I record on my computer using OBS, and every single service is one that I can rip it. Yes, it takes longer and you gotta let the whole movie play. I'm sure there's probably ways to speed that up and then slow it down in post, but you can rip a 4K copy of, say, The Last of Us right now, today, using nothing but OBS and Firefox. And then someone that's nefarious puts that up to share. I mean, why even bother? For some people, you know what I'm saying? I am not promoting piracy or breaking the law. You do what you feel your rank can handle. So I don't know, Manny. You ready to talk about something a little bit happier though? I know you're excited to talk about the Last of Us, man. So Manny also wrote a written review up on lrmonline.com and on your screen right now. So Manny, The Last of Us, how does it live up to the hype?
Oh, it matches the hype. It 100% met and exceeded my expectations. My cautious expectations, because it was so excited, and I think that shares the sentiment to a lot of people, because The Last of Us it's beloved. the two games are very much beloved by fans. The story, it starts by really getting you up, and as you really learn about why Joel is the way he is, and it kind of sets up the dynamic between him and Ellie, because here's a girl that reminds Joel of his daughter, and it's not a connection that he probably wants to have ever again, because no matter when, losing a child would that scar would never heal, I would think. And so
yeah, no.
And so I mean, just having the creators on there and being able to basically do the not word for word, of course, but a very, very similar, all the main points are there to the beginning of the game, I think was a very I guess soothing thing for our audience members, as you can, as I said, hey, we respect the source material, and here is here is the foundation of our show, which is the foundation of the game. which now if they take it in different directions, they skew to maybe a different pathway from the game. I think that'll be okay, because we know that the journey may be different, but the themes and I guess the lessons and the character arcs will be very, very similar. Because I mean, really, like, what's the fun in having it to match scene by scene to the game if we've already played the game? And so I think that it lends itself to a little bit of a different storytelling, and I know that that's what they're going to do because they said it. But the important part was to get the characters right, and I think that's really what mattered. The Last of Us really has almost a cinematic pace to it when it comes to its cutscenes anyway, so that really lent itself to kind of the pacing of the scenes in the opening episode. So just overall, it I'm fighting my cat. It lent itself well to match the game. And because the game is very linear too, you don't really feel like you're missing out, like a BioShock maybe, or another game where you have options in the path you're taking. In The Last of Us, you have a linear path, and so in a way it's almost like watching cutscenes, but with Pedro Pascal and with Bella Ramsey. And it, like, there's really not much, like, as far as the opening to a video game series, there's not much you could have done better. Like, it's all there. They took really good care of it. I think they got the producers right, and letting Neil Druckmann, who's one of the co-creators of the game, and then also pairing him with Craig Mazin, who did Chernobyl, which was really, really good. I think that's an awesome pairing, and it shows. And then just the overall excitement of we're getting The Last of Us, and then quickly being introduced to Joel's daughter Sarah, and then realizing, oh, we gotta go through this again. That was it seems like that's a sentiment that everyone was feeling. I know Nick was really excited about it. And overall, I've really seen more than anything just like super positive reactions. And I'm just really happy because I love this game series, and I wanted it to do well. Then again, I want all the projects to do well. Rotten Tomatoes currently has it at 99% critic score, 96% audience score. The one guy who gave it like a thumbs down as a critic that I saw, he can go suck a radish. I don't know, to be nice. Like he just seems like he's really trying to be over the top, overbearing. I never want to watch movies with that guy. I don't know. Like, they couldn't have made this any better. It's fantastic. It's great.
It's good to hear.
Very excited to see more of it.
How do you think people that haven't played the games, does this play really well? Is it too Walking Deadish? Like, if you have never played the games, how do you think this is playing for people?
So it does, it sets the tone like right at the beginning, where it explains that the biggest threat to humanity isn't a virus in a global pandemic, but a fungi attack. And kind of explaining, you probably know this, some people don't, there actually is a fungus in our world that has the ability to take over an ant system. Yes. and really make it into kind of a zombie, into
parasitic fungus. Man, it's a scary freaking thought.
so this is actually based on reality. It only affects ants, so relax.
For now.
That's actually true. But we've seen zombie shows, we've seen they're a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. The Walking Dead, whatever. You know, we can go on and on about
zombie. No, I'm joking. That's
Yeah.
completely different.
What it does is they're like, yeah, we'll get to the zombies, and actually we'll get to like everything. We'll just drop you little nuggets of information every now and then. But for today, we want you to focus on the characters more than anything else, and kind of the society we live in.
Yeah,
it doesn't like
we live in a society.
The infected don't matter today, and that's important because they didn't you saw them, especially right in the beginning as they're turning and stuff like that. They really have 28 days later vibes of their speed and things like that. But what was important is setting up the characters of Joel and Ellie, who were the foundation of the show, were the foundation of the game, and really letting fans know that we know what this series is about. We know what the game is about. Here we are. We're not taking anyone's mask off. We're not making them do things that were very uncharacteristic of them. We're not taking.
There is no masks. I heard.
No, there isn't. But what I'm saying is that, what did they do? The first thing they did with Halo, they took his mask off.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's doing things that it's like, and so on. I mean, besides recent games, a lot of them haven't worked. Sonic worked very, very well. And
that's a movie, and we're glad. It's weird because there was a time where I was. Do shows because this movie thing for video games isn't working out. And then we had the Raccoon City. That was the Resident Evil movie, which sucked. But you've got the Resident Evil series, not good. You had the Halo series, even though it's getting a second season. I don't know how or why. I know more people that disliked it than liked it, but whatever. It was kind of like, oh my God, were we wrong? Can it not work as a series either? And then you get this one, and some people want to throw in things like Arcane and Cyberpunk, but animation is completely different beast. You've made video game stuff work in animation style before. Sonic is a great example. So is Pokemon, because it was technically the game first. But that being said, I'm glad to hear this is doing well. I mean, it's still iffy because it's only one episode in, and we know we know how studios like to screw it up. So hopefully it sticks out. You say that,
but also at the same time, HBO Max as of late has had a really good track record with their shows. I don't know what it is.
House of the Dragon was very, very well received.
So was White Lotus, so was Euphoria. So I mean, we could go on and on, but the point is they have that new model now, it seems, where it seems like they don't necessarily care that they don't have anything new sometimes, because this is nine episodes, 9 weeks.
Yeah.
And so it's just interesting that in my opinion, it seems like HBO Max really goes for the quality.
Hopefully.
God, you gotta be so pessimistic, man. Like,
man, dude, it's like being a Marvel fan. We've been beaten. I'm flinching. Okay, I'm flinching.
HBO Max has not let me down with their shows. So to this point, the one that the biggest letdown has been Disney. They just throw anything they want.
100%.
And then
agreed.
And then the one that's kind of like hit or miss is usually Paramount. It's like, okay, I guess that's okay. Maybe that's good. They're like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good. They try for things, and then Prime actually has been surprisingly decent and consistent, at least with the things that they throw out.
Debatable with Wheel of Time and Rings of Power, but
Rings of Power was great. Wheel of Time, not so much.
I liked most of Rings of Power. It stumbled there at the end, and not just the final episode, but the last few had various issues from awful to passable. But real strong start overall. Wheel of Time was very similar, but I think that one suffered more of pandemic stuff than it was necessarily. Like Cam and I were talking on the Dragon Reviewed show where we review Wheel of Time, and we'll do season 2 whenever it does hit. We were both kind of like, this doesn't necessarily feel like it was bad. This feels like choices that were forced upon them. So we still gave it grades based on what it was, but kind of giving it the benefit of the doubt going into season 2. Rings of Power, however, it had some just straight up writing issues and choices that just weren't. Anyways. Is that it? The Last of Us?
Yeah, I'm just excited to see the rest of it. It's just it's very well done. From what I could tell from the preview so far, the infected look crazy good.
Yeah.
And so I think where it'll get interesting will be how much time they spent with kind of the other characters. Mm-hmm. Because in the games you don't necessarily get to learn too much about them. So it will be interesting to see how much development you get. Like Nick Offerman's in it, and a couple of other people.
Because as soon as Joel and Ellie walk off to another area, you're following them while others are going on with their lives where you left them at. So unlike the game, this can let the camera not follow Joel and Ellie and instead turn back around to Bob and follow Bob for a minute. So that's
which could be good because like
help pad out that runtime.
That, and like I said, we already played the game, so let's expand the universe. Let's do something a little different. But keep the foundation of the show, what it's supposed to be, and it looks like by the first episode they got it right. There were no red flags here, which was nice. So yeah, just overall, just really good stuff. One thing we just didn't mention about, and I just want to say this out loud. Megan, box office, going back to that really quick, only had a 41% drop.
Yeah.
So kudos to that movie as well for breaking that quote unquote 50-60% mold drop. It only had a 40% drop.
Yeah, I mean there were a few other horror movies that had decent drops, and this didn't have nearly as big as an opening as say Avatar or Doc Strange did, but yeah, I mean it's anytime it's going to be below 65-ish% these days, I'm going to consider that a win, whether it's a big movie or not. I'm going to consider that a win, especially for big blockbuster titles, because they have almost consistently been 65, 68, 70% drops. Like they man, people front loaded, man. Front loaded.
Yeah, if you think about it, I mean, it's almost double, but I mean the budget is also very different. Nope did 171 million worldwide, and currently Megan is almost reaching 100 million. It's at 93, almost 94. For a movie that has already, I think, tripled its budget. So just very happy about it. So yeah, both TV and movies, we doing all right so far, and I hope things stay this way. Really,
hopefully.
Yeah. I'm rooting for it.
All right. Well, guys, you can find all sorts of stories, Manny's written review on The Last of Us, celebrity interviews, and more over at lrmonline.com, and those interviews on the LRM Online YouTube channel. Speaking of YouTube channels, if you're watching the Genreverse right now, Daily COG is there. Of course, we've got anime shows with AVR squared. We've got the Cantina genre shot trailer reactions. Shocky and I, Mike, nickname Shocky, does the Cantina Star Wars show with Cam and I, and we will be Cam and me and Cam, whatever, screw grammar. And we'll be reacting to the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer tonight at halftime during some game. I don't pay attention to sports ball. No, during the playoff game tonight's halftime show. What's that, Manny?
It's for shame, man. There's some of the greatest playoff games happening this weekend. And you just
I'm aware of Jacksonville's outstanding, what was it, third or fourth highest comeback in a playoff game
that wasn't
ever?
That wasn't Jacksonville's comeback. That was the Chargers
loss.
Yeah, Chargers. Yeah. But then again, like,
I mean, why would you be upset at the Chargers losing though?
To be fair though, the Chargers don't necessarily even have a home or a fan base, so
I know, right? Poor Chargers. Anyway, actually, I almost got ran off the road in San Diego because I had a Raiders tire cover thing on the back of the Chevy Tracker's spare, and someone in San Diego did not like that.
Really?
There's rivalry there.
Oh man,
yeah, really? So, anyways, I mean, that was years and years ago, man. That was like 2007 or 8. Anyways, guys, lots of great content on the channels. The Point audio podcasts, wherever you get those from, Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Discord down below. Anything else, Manny?
Actually, yeah, that was it. Mandalorian trailer. Get ready for more Mando and Grogu. The exact same crap we've gotten for 2 seasons and a half.
We'll see. Bye, guys.